ward. Large tunnel curves underneath the floor and continues to the east. It's blocked by glistening ropes of webbing that you might be able to slide past. The walls beneath the webbing feel weak and crumble. With the proper tools, you might be able to. Find a weak point in the rock and hammer the walls of passage. The brittle stone crumbles away. Within minutes, you created enough room to slip through the tunnel. As you clear the passage, the needle-like voice digs into your skull once more, infiltrating, pursuing. You shall not have it. You hear a hungering chittering. Now feed.
How may I help?
Not do that. So if I don't go down there, it does something else, maybe? Crap, lovely. Thanks for that game. Thanks for that. Petrified again. I think I need to save it there again. That takes me back up there. So very unsure. Oh, oh, oh. My. Not very well today. Going well, but not great. What else have I got here? A robed, gangling creature lurches towards you and you feel something needling at your brain. Again, a screeching hiss that invades your mind is edged with rage. Digging and fettering animal, it pauses, its mouthpiece clacking. When its words fill your mind again, they are tempted with fear. My legacy. It clutches an egg like stone in his spindly fingers. The white stone glows with life and you feel a presence inside. The creature notices your interest. For the Connolly. It cocks its head. Animal, calm, peaceful. Yes. Its thoughts echo back at you from within the stone. It occurs to you that a piece of the creature's soul is somehow housed within it. What are you doing with that stone? Legacy, colony. Segmented mouthparts scraped together. Young are always few, slow to hatch, fragile. The creature indicates itself with a hairy appendage, last of colony, soon to die. It draws the stone closer to its narrow chest. Long dead animals put spirit stuff in metal. It points behind it. I keep spirit stuff in stone. Take a new colony. Colony alone is weak, young, frail, empty of wisdom. But two colonies together survive and make strong colony. It strokes a stone. Need the legacy to guide new colony. Oh, and there may be peace between our kinds. Oh, you know, that's kind of a diplomatic approach in it. Probably a bad choice, but I'll take it. It's Black, unblinking eyes stare back at you. Warm relief gushes into your mind. No peace and gentleness it does. Nridek go. Bring legacy. Many thanks. We're fine then. The weapons out. Okay. Alright, happy days. I could hear it. As I'm sure you're well aware, wealth has a way of birthing enemies. My fortress is beset by thieves. I'm sure one of the lesser nobles is after my treasury. This has the stink of jealousy upon it. It will be weeks before I can secure my holdings, and by then it will be too late, and I haven't the connections to hire mercenaries on short notice. And so I turn to you, my lord. Is there anything you can do? I'll see that these jealous rivals are dealt with. Marvellous. May I inquire as your intentions? I have missives sent to every noble in my lands. Yep, I can send Aleph away. "7 days. That's fine. That's fine because I've still got Pallegina, so at least I have her. Level as well. A lay on hand, I would imagine. Something. Looks to rain now. Chewing on a piece of uncooked meat, a small Orlin dressed in tattered leathers offers a mumbled greeting and waves his hand. Despite his pleasant smile, the upper right portion of his face is in a sorry state. An eye patch stitch of a stylized eyeball wraps around its head. His ear is a mangled remnant that twitches in spasms while the other ear perks up as you approach. Next to him is a splayed carcass of a deer that appears to be ripped open by a bear or wolf. You hear a gargling rumble next to you. Sagani places her hand on her stomach. Her eyes are on the carcass. Still fresh. Big tongue lolls out of his mouth.
If this is your deer, you need a new game warden. Name's Hiravias. Hungry? I can't eat all this. First catch of the day, help yourself.
Okay, okay, let's help yourself. You might want to cook that first.
And ruin the original texture? That's the best part! Just see for yourself.
He chuckles and wipes deer bits from his lips. Turning his attention to the corpse, he plunges his hands into the deer's eviscerated abdomen.
Eat up!
With a smile, he holds the truncated end of the beast's innards in front of you. Sure.
Gods no! Don't eat it! I assumed you realized I was being a churlish ponce.
Well, I don't know.
I applaud your bravery, but unless you've a cast iron stomach, I don't recommend eating the feces tube.
Okay then, so we'll kill the deer.
One ornery Stelgar. Though looking at the deer's insides, it had a malformed but delicious heart, and would have been dead within the year regardless. Gallowayne chose a fitting end for this fine animal. Pardon me, I shouldn't pray with my mouth full.
So what brings you here?
Other than the delicious venison, new trees to document, new animals to sketch, new sights to be seen. I've learned as much as I can from the druids of my circle. I'd rather wander and learn than take root and stagnate. So if you're traveling to Deerwood and need another set of hands, I'd welcome the safety of a group.
A druid assistant would be welcome.
I'm trained by the celebrants of Hawk and Ivy of the Fisher Crane tribe. I know more than my share of nature magic, and, well, I don't shy away from a good fight.
Nice.
I have business with the druids that live near Twin Elms. So long as we find ourselves there eventually, I'm happy to follow along. Splendid! It'll be an honor to run with the pack for a change.
Two rounds.
You walk your path, I'll walk mine.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put them as a healer. I'll put them as a healer. Could would be useful. That means I can get rid of Durans, because like I say, I don't mind them, but clearly I'm not leveled for it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Very weird. Like, sometimes I have all the damage in the world, and sometimes I do not have any.
Let's go.
Slowly now.
Slowly now.
Let's go.
Ready, Watcher. I'm here.
Yeah. Shit. Oh, okay.
Attack.
Oh, she's stunned for.
so.
Dead on.
Yeah.
Right there. Got there in the end. Oh. Yeah, it's just Oh, that's I think he wants to be a range and he wants to be a caster. Very weird. A melee and he wants to be a caster as well. They really think very well. In my opinion. Just checking just to make sure if there's no like a different path that I can take. Goodies though. He's still on stealth by the way.
I'm ready.
I have.
Hey,
Ouch. Right.
I have. Right away.
Well, I like the stun, so I need to have a lot of stun stuff.
of course.
Great. All the healing. Heal! Yes!
Sure.
Hey,
Alright. Oh.
I'm on the trail.
Okay. Quite a ferocious melee character. finish this area and I'll speak to the new chap, because no doubt he'll have a quest for us. Eh? No doubt.
Need something? As a peripatetic loner, I'm not privy to the latest news, but the Hollowborn Children is a tale that has reached even my reclusive ears. Or rather, ear.
Why did the Glatharan Druins think of this plight?
It's been a long time since I've spoken with my circle. They'd probably tell you what I'd tell you. This plight was most certainly the consequence of someone trespassing into Nguithan places, not meant for folk. I mean, what else other than the gods could inflict punishment of such impressive scale?
Your thoughts on the Hollowborn?
Anytime a life is separated from its soul, I wanted to pretend it was just a rumor when I first heard of it.
So did I, truth be told. I think it's quite a shocking revelation when you figure out what it was.
In my youth, I'd cursed the dear Woodens for being ignorant to spoilers that breed out of control. But soulless babies? What heartless gods would inflict that kind of tragedy? No parent or child deserves to be a part of that horror. Need something? My second favorite subject. What would you like to know?
How did you come to be trained as a druid? Hiravias thumbs his half-stretched, shredded ear and thinks to himself for several seconds. It wasn't entirely by choice, not at the start at least. My ambitions was to be a hunter. I merely arrived by a different trail. As a child, an Amarthath came to visit. An honoured guest is occasion for a grand chase, but I was left out, instructed instead to be cupbearer to the old wise one while the rest were on hunt. I'm sure you can guess what happens. Wise Amber gives dumb child a shred of attention. We ended up talking until the hunters returned. He handed a dart across his body, scouring the pockets and folds of his tunic. This, he presents a rusted iron medallion, fashioned in the likeness of a hound's head, a common icon amongst the frontiersmen, explorers and other seekers faithful to Galwithan. The Amarthath instead insisted I be trained, and none in my village would defy him. Now, he smiles broadly. I don't have a bow to hunt. So where'd you come from
My
originally?
mother's crotch. You?
Hardy, hardy, har, 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 har. I went from the land, you half-wit.
I grew up in Glonfoth, specifically in and around Thane Bog. My people, the Fisher Crane tribe, are migrant stewards of the land. I've walked the whole of Glonfoth many times.
So what's the story behind the symbol of whale on your eye patch? Whale is known as the eyeless face, so his symbol seemed a good fit for my eye patch. His absent-mindedly runs his finger along the strap of the patch band. Whale incography is rather popular in my home tribe, but it seems he is not as widely venerated here in Deerwood. I remember thinking that I consecrated my eye to he who obfuscates and reveals, then maybe with enough devotion we would make some use of an old ruined thing, really. So he sacrificed his eye thinking that, wow, some people folks. He pulls on the eye patch strap and let it go with a loud snap. So if you think you can see me staring at rumps and cleavage, it's rather just the will of whale controlling my gaze, honest. So what's your relationship with Gallifrey? I was raised as a disciple of the Seeker God. He is a champion of the hunt, be it the simple struggle for subsistence or the scholarly pursuit of knowledge. In my older years, I found, he cuts himself off, shakes his head and starts again. Life has shown me I am more suited to the ways of whale. The furious hunt for knowledge often outpaces the journey of real understanding. Druids are known for changing into animals. What sort of creatures can you become? He takes a half step backwards as you ask the question. All sorts of things. He says quietly with a long, uncomfortable gaze. Okay. He stares at you blankly, arms folded. Let's discuss something. I would say might, but I don't want to be aggressive. Any man with scars has a story to tell. I'm just going to ask you later if you don't tell me now.
Yes, I suppose you should know.
Cool.
I struggled with spirit shifting, the final rite of passage in my druidic training. I prayed to Galawain for insight and, in the style of seekers of old, went to the forest, alone, to ask for guidance.
Ooh.
Then I got my answer, an answer at least, in the form of a vibrantly colored Stelgar that pounced from the underbrush and made a salient demonstration of its capacity to eat things 1/15th its size.
Hopefully. That's terrible. I'm thankful you managed to survive.
Aye, it only cost me half my face. And for the record, the Stelgar limped home with worse.
Hey, you go.
As the beast was lopping off bits of my handsomeness, I remember trying to fight back, swinging with arms too short to reach. I felt I had the energy for one last swipe at the beast's nose, and when I lashed out with a punch, my arm felt twice as massive, and my fingers sprouted talons. In a rush of power, I shifted into a mirror of my assailant. Apparently, he couldn't pick on someone his own size. By the battle's end, his severed arm was in my maw. The beast limped away in defeat.
Ah, it's quite an impressive tale. I thought learning to spirit shift would win me some respect. Maybe trap myself and add win less with a lust for little men. Alas, I might have been better off staying a novice. When I wandered back to my village, they saw my wounds and asked what happened. I showed them. The name they called my form was the Autumn Stelgar. His mouth opens, but he hesitates for a long moment before choosing his words. They were not impressed. The row of my circle believe in Autumn Stelgar to be a hideous abomination. It is said that if he eats you, your soul is invariably lost, and this was my first and most intuitive form. They deemed me a carrier of its evil. Even though I never so much as threatened my kin, I was ruled unfit and cast out. Hiravias sighs, scratching his scarred face. I don't know what message Galawain was trying to send. The only lesson I learned was that the Seeker God will punish you for seeking. So you're some sort of soul cannibal? No, at least I think not. I never actually sat down and eaten an entire person to find out. I'm not that curious to find out. You didn't choose your spirit shifting form. No, he states with a huff. It chose me. It chose me. Or so I imagine. I always assumed I would shift into a stout. Seems more true to my nature. He points to embossed pattern of whale on his eye patch, as the obscure teaches. When the answer is inscrutable, one must be content to ponder the question. Were you at least recognised as a proper druid? No, but I know I passed an initiation rite 5 times more perilous than any of those kin betrayals that insisted I was a failure. Can you learn to spirit shift into something less terrifying? Already can, and sometimes do, he says with a beaming smile that quickly returns to a skill, but the druids of my circle assign great meaning to one's first form. I'll always be unclean to it.
Well, if you don't know me, you can't trust me. And if you can't trust me, odds are low you'll leap in front of a flying arrow to save my life.
Possibly true.
I've been meaning to visit the druids of Twin Elms to see if they know more about my spirit shift. If our journey takes us there, perhaps they can enlighten me with more information about the Autumn Stelgar. But for now, maybe we can talk about something less depressing?
Well, Galawain and Whale, they're kind of depressing. He stares at you blankly with one eye. Oh, not sure what more there is to say on the subject, unless you were itching for religious debate. Tell me about your thoughts on Whale. I came to know Whale in earnest in the first year of my exile. I asked myself why Galawain would punish me for asking questions. What just and fair god would punish me for doing as he asks? Could be a she. Could be a she. Questioning why I would have been mauled. Questioning why I had been mauled just drove me mad. At the height of my worry, I would have dreams where I only saw with my injured eye. My healthy eye became blind in my dreams. He lifts up the eye patch to gently itch at the socket. You catch a quick glimpse of a puckered and scarred abscess under the whale-embroidered patch. So one afternoon I stitched the stylized eye motif on the patch. I like to think of it as my self-initiation rite into the brotherhood of Whale. Whale is not an intrusive or overbearing deity. He does not freely dispense wisdom and expects all of us to question and explore with our own minds. Whale reminds me that curiosity is being receptive to any and all truths, not hunting for any one answer. What a point now. Has Whale ever actually spoken directly to you? Or sent you a sign? No, never directly, he says with a smile, which is as it should be, given that he represents. I especially like how Whale never sends a wild beast to maul me, but maybe I have low expectations of such things. Okay. What can you tell me about Galloway? A frown obscures his face as he ponders your question. Consider it as a lapsed devotion. I will always respect the secret god, but he visited ruination on me when all I sought was knowledge, just as he thought it should be. He meshes his fingers together and flexes his digits until the joints pop and click. Galloway left his mark on me. When I see my shifted reflection, I'm reminded of his presence. Galloway still inspires my fear, just not my wisdom. I'm not going to say the last one. Yeah, he smiles, his face turns flush. Well, I was angry wreck when the Royal exiled me. I'm just thankful for the solitude of the wilderness and the wisdom of Whale. Without them, I never come to terms with my situation. Okay. Find a druid who knows more about the autumn. Exactly.